Yes, this is CJ here at San Diego Comic-Con, and I am here with
Tim Hedrick.
Yeah, he is the writer for
Yes,
Voltron.
Writer of Voltron.
So, I have a question for you. Starting out, because I've seen all 11 episodes, it feels like the show actually takes a lot of cues from Go Line. Was that the original kind of, like, at least tonally?
Yeah.
Was that the goal starting out?
Yeah, I mean, we definitely watched the original, American version, and then we also were watching Go Line. And in a lot of ways, it fills in a lot of gaps that you have when you're watching the original Voltron. It's like, oh, this doesn't quite make sense. And you're like, oh, I get it. So, yeah, we definitely were into that. And it has more of a kind of...
It feels like it has a very, it's a mix of mature but still very kid themes, which I think is a good balance to have if you're trying to appease the old fans and also get new fans in as well.
Yeah, and I think that appealed to, the way we like to make shows and have that kind of, adult elements that... Because, the original Voltron fans are adults now, but you also have to, get the kids involved. Otherwise, you don't have an audience.
It's always the goal, is to get the kids.
So it's a little bit of a tightrope, but, yeah. I think, we tried to work in enough comedy to make that happen, but also, hit those big emotional moments.
Now, how was it, I know you were involved in the Avatar series, Legend of Korra, so how is that different doing that show compared to Voltron? Or is it pretty much the same?
We run the writer's room in a lot the same way. The difference has been that, when you're doing these Netflix drops, they really want it to be all just run together, just one big hunk of story that people binge watch, and they're like, oh my God, when's some more coming out? Versus traditional TV programming where it's really standalone, and they want they want to be able to play. But the real difference that I've found is when you're making those shows that come out one a week, it gives you time to see how people are reacting, and then you get ratings and you know what's happening. Versus once it goes up on Netflix, it just goes up, and it's you don't really know what people are doing. But the response has been great. So.
Do you follow any of the live tweets? Because I know when I was watching it, a lot of us were live tweeting, oh man, did you see what happened on episode blah, blah, blah?
Yeah, I try, you really want to go and read every single thing. But then as soon as someone is like, man, they sucked. You're like, what are you talking about?
I wrote that.
Yeah, exactly. So it's, I got to watch out. You don't want to know too much.
Now, I know the character for Shiro, he was the one that got kidnapped and such. Now, what made you do his backstory the way he did, having him be kidnapped and all that stuff versus,
Yeah. Well, we wanted to have, some kind of mysteries to play with as the whole show came out. And we wanted to have an Earth where they'd never seen aliens before. But we also wanted to get into the story, right away, you know? So the way we thought to do that was to have those guys get kidnapped and then, come back to Earth and slam in. So, and then also it gives us all this kind of Shiro's PTSD to play with, and makes him
a mystery,
more,
hand and all that
what's
stuff.
He gonna know? What's he gonna find out? Where's he been? And so that's been pretty fun, and it ties him together with Pidge and her emotional story to find her family too.
Yeah.
So I think that's worked out pretty well for
now,
us.
for Zarkon, what was the basis for him? Were you just kind of okay, we'll stick with how he is in Go Line, or was y'all trying to really go different with that family dynamic, I guess, with him and his crew?
Yeah, I think that what we wanted to do was make him a little more mysterious so that you didn't have the situation where Voltron fights Zarkon, they beat him, he goes away and is like, oh, I'll get you guys, and then it comes back next week, you know? So that you're just repeating that dynamic over. It gets old so long. So you've got to find ways to kind of keep him at more of an arm's length and let that fight develop, which is, what we're getting into now,
Okay.
So...
So I guess it's weird for me because I heard DreamWorks was doing it. So did y'all have to deal with Toei in regards to that, or was that just kind of
We have had meetings with the toy people, since the beginning. It's just obviously if you're making a Voltron show, people want Voltron toys. We all love Voltron toys, so we're totally into it.
Oh, okay.
They didn't ever. They didn't impact how the story was going to be told.
But they did did they at least see the material that y'all put out?
Yeah. And there's DreamWorks is a big company, and they have all these different divisions, and they all get together in a big boardroom, and then you pitch the whole thing to them and show them the art, and they get excited and stuff. They've been great. I mean, they're really
Yeah,
excited.
because it's weird to see DreamWorks is like, what, DreamWorks is touching Voltron? What's
I
going
know,
on here?
yeah.
Like, do you know what made them want to say, hey, let's do a Voltron?
Well, they bought this big package of old shows. That's the Classic Media Library, and it was Voltron, and it had like Peabody and Sherman, and I think
Seen Peabody and Sherman is actually pretty good.
So there's a bunch of like shows like that in there, and then they just start picking out ones that they think they can, get a team to do and try them out. And Voltron was one that we were ready to jump on, so it worked out pretty well.
Now, season 1 ended on a cliffhanger.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So what can I know you can't divulge a lot,
Yeah.
but what can you say about season 2 for people that are like really chomping at the bit? Like,
It's just as good, only better.
Yeah.
It's, so we got these lions spinning out of this corrupted black hole, and they're kind of splitting apart, and so we'll see a little bit of maybe some individual adventures, and I mean, it's going to continue developing the themes that we've set up, and I can't really say any more than that, but it's good. I've seen a lot of it. It's great.
Now, was it a conscious decision? Because I know in the original Voltron, the characters' colors didn't match the lions. Was that just a conscious decision? Say, you know what? Let's just put this person in that line because it matches up. Was that like purposeful?
Well, we've got it set it up now, and we've got more coming.
Yeah.
These colors could swap. They might not.
Okay.
I think it's nice that they match.
Yeah, I mean, that was what stuck out to me. I was like, oh, a little Power
Keith's
Ranger.
wearing that jacket.
Yeah.
I mean,
Might as well put him in red.
yeah, he looks good in red.
Yeah, might as well. I thought it was cool. Now, for the voice actors, were you involved with the voice casting?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
Like how did that come about, getting them individually?
That was, it's a long process, and we were really excited with Jeremy Shader right away, and Tyler Labine as Hunk, and they're super funny, and they're really great.
Hunk is like hilarious.
And Reese Darby was the guy that we were just like dream cast for Koran. I mean, so we were really lucky to get him. I mean, it was really tough to find a good Shiro, to have that kind of heroic character.
Yeah.
But that worked out great too. I mean, and then obviously Stephen Ewan, you can't beat that guy.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, I was kind of shocked that he was in the show. I was like, oh, you got Stephen Ewan?
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
I know. Yeah.
That's what's up.
It's pretty awesome. So yeah, I think our casting department knocked it out of the park on that. They've been great.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us
my
today.
pleasure, man.
So enjoy Comic-Con.
Oh, will do.
Cool. Thanks.